Okay, good afternoon everyone and a warm welcome to IPHatch Taiwan launch at InnoVEX 2025. I'm Claire and I will be your host for today's IPHatch program launch ceremony. On behalf of Peace Future and our wonderful partners Nokia, Panasonic, Startup Terrace and InnoVEX team, we are thrilled to bring you IPHatch Taiwan, a startup program designed to empower startups through the strategic use of corporate patents and further leveraging our network, tools, and incubation resources to bring your business to greater heights. So today marks the second year of running IPHatch program in Taiwan. This program will be a good addition to Taiwan's innovation ecosystem as we complement many exciting accelerators and incubators here. So IPHatch is more than just an open innovation challenge. It is a 5-year incubation program that connects visionary entrepreneurs and world-class patent portfolios from Panasonic and Nokia. So over the next hour, you will learn from our corporate partner how opening up their intellectual property to spur meaningful collaboration and how your startup can leverage this powerful asset to scale faster, smarter, and more sustainably. We also have other esteemed Taiwanese ecosystem players to share their knowledge of Taiwanese startup scene and support their giving to the ecosystem. So for our first keynote session, we are very happy to have Travis Wu, CEO of MiiCs Partners, Chairman of InquaTech, who will be sharing on the topic of From the Heart of Innovation, where startup money and IP collides in Taiwan and beyond. Travis Wu is CEO of MiiCs Partners, leading its IP monetization and tech investment business. Travis is also the investor of AVA, a famous angel investment group in Taiwan, and he used to work at CID, the most famous venture capital in Taiwan. So he's recognized as the top IP strategist in IAM and served as a board member and executive assistant of general manager for 2 Taiwan stock exchange listed companies. So without further ado, let's welcome Travis on stage to kickstart today's ceremony. Travis, please.
Hello everyone, could you hear me? I think it's good, right? I think today is the last day for the InnoVEX, and I want to introduce you some very unique but interesting business model and combining IP and startup and money, just like IPHatch do, right? So first of all, I would like to introduce, sorry about, oh, okay. I would like to introduce my company, MiiCs Partners. What we are doing, we're doing 2 things. One thing is IP monetization. We do the patent transaction and also the patent license. And we also play a second role about the investment. We do the technology investment, no matter it's like a early stage startup investment or it's like a secondary technology investment. So I would like to share about my concept of what I'm feeling right now in the current ecosystem of the startup, and not only in Taiwan, maybe in other countries. So when we are talking about the startups and the money, from startup perspective, actually, we need money. Money is the critical resources for supporting the future growth, to support their ideas, support their technology, building up their product, and to do the commercialization, and building the revenue, and then gain the profit, right? So startups need money. That's a very basic concept. And on the other hand, money, they can do a lot of like investment, right? For institutional investors, I used to work in venture capital for quite a while. And we are looking for good startups, and we are trying to allocate our money into these potential, startups with good potential. So when we are looking for the startups, actually, what we're doing right now, it's a supporting the innovation, right? Because for startups, you have team, good people, build up technology, and use this technology to build up the product and the service and trying to commercialize. So that's a very traditional business model. I would say classic business model to support your company growth. And that's usually, I would say, Asia companies are good at. However, if we are thinking about the IP, what's the meaning of IP to startups? What's the meaning of IP to the founders? Usually, for startups, it's like, hey, I have a technology, I should apply for some patents. For what? It's a reward? No, I don't think it's a reward. It's a certificate? Maybe it's a proof of like you have some technology, right? But how do we use this kind of like a patent to leverage it and to build a new business model? It's seldom discussed in Asia. From my perspective, you know, in the United States, what we have? We have Qualcomm, right? We have Adobe. We have this kind of companies. Actually, they are doing a very high-level IP monetization, but maybe mainly when you are looking at this kind of company, you just look at, oh, they have product, they sell the product. But if you look into the financial statements, you look into the details, most of its profits made from IP, right? But I mean, not only in Taiwan, in Asia, you have a startup, you have a company, you want to sell some product, trying to gain some revenue, and if you have a very good IP, maybe it can help you secure the gross margin, right? You can have some profit, but after your company going to a mature stage, what's the next step, right? How to use the IP to leverage it? What's the value of IP? Actually, from my perspective, we can think about it in a broad way. For me, innovation actually is in the heart of startup, money, and the IP. Why? Because we know for a technology company, if you really have a technology, you have some inventions, you must file some patents. But other than using patent to help you secure, I would say it's like a moat. Warren Buffett say it's a moat to protect your business, secure your gross margins. But you can also build up another business model from like a IP license and from the a lot of like I would say technology collaboration, including the license. It will be a very interesting business model, and you can make your business model more colorful, and you can show your potential from startup perspective to the money. I mean, to this founder, what's your potential? What's your technology means? Other than just build up a product and trying to sell through multiple channels, you need to hustle every day, talk with your business partners, right? So from my perspective, from Mike's perspective, if I'm also an investor, I'm looking for this kind of company to invest and find this kind of company to collaborate. So I can give you an example for what we have done before. There is I think it's a very famous startup company called Artilux in Taiwan. It mainly focus on the CG technology. It's a semiconductor technology. And the team comes from Intel Optical Telecom Lab. And when they come back to Taiwan, they try to build up their technology, and they focus very much on how to build up their patent portfolio. And then they start to collaborate with TSMC as a manufacturer to commercialize their technology and trying to fit in the industry needs. What's the industry need? They need a cheaper, stable, and solutions and with better performance. So from Mike's perspective, we have money, want to do the investment, but how we do the investment? Mike's also investing in another company called Inquartic. Inquartic is an AI SaaS pattern analytics platform. And we use this platform to analyze the potential of Artilux technology and do the comparison with other companies in the world. And then we find that, oh, it really has a good potential. We should dig into that. And we talk with the RTLX manufacturer, we talk with TSMC, we talk with their clients, and we make sure that they have solid technology. We are thinking about how to help them to go to the next page, next chapter, and the next stage. So for this kind of structure is what MiiCs are looking for, and we are investing in terms of like a ecosystem, including all kinds of innovative technology and tools. So I hope this example can bring you some insight and make you think about what's the IP mean to you, how you use IP to leverage, to rebuild your business model, and how to convince the money to invest in you. All right? So I would say enjoy the journey for this event, and also understand more about IPHatch program. And they have very good IP corporate resources and very creative business model, I think. All right. So that's all I have today. I think for the following panel discussion, it would be very interesting. All right. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Travis. Let's give Travis a warm round of applause. Thank you for your time today. Next, we will be moving on to our first panel for today. So we have invited Panasonic, Nokia, 86 Studios to come and share on the topic of smart equity, navigating funding models for startup growth. So this panel will be moderated by our CEO and founder of Peace Future, Jason Low. Let's welcome all of them on stage, please. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the CEO of Peace Future. My name is Jason. I'm very delighted to have all these distinguished panelists with us today to share about their insights and all that. Unfortunately, as you may be wondering where's Amos, but due to some family issue, he couldn't attend this particular panel. But I bet we will have a very good sharing as well, in a very balanced way. All right. First of all, I would like each of these distinguished panelists to introduce themselves. All right, and maybe say a few words about your company. Why are you guys doing this activity with us? And also maybe some other insights that you would like to share.
Hello, everyone. I am Nakagawa. I work for Panasonic IP Management. Panasonic IP Management is an IP specialized subsidiary of Panasonic. So the current biggest challenge for Panasonic is kind of dormant patents, because we invest a lot of money for R&D, but not all of the technology are used in Panasonic business. So many of technology became sleeping patent technology, dormant technology. We think that is a very pity. So we open this technology to outside. Then we hope it can be help of creation of business in outside Panasonic. Then we want to make a collaboration and make a synergy. I believe that will be a next power to growth of Panasonic.
Thank you. My name is Francisco Gomez. I work at Nokia. Similar to what Nakagawa said, we have a business unit called Nokia Tech, which deals with monetization of IP. Mostly what we do is licensing of standard essential patents, but then I'm leading this program with IPHatch, so it's very exciting because I get to work with startups, and that is the reason for me to be here today.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Freya from AA6 Studios. AA6 is the Taiwan country code. So this is the venture studios that was funded by a group of serial entrepreneurs who has successfully built their companies in Silicon Valley before. Some companies you might be very familiar with, the founders of Guitar Hero, the founders of Twitch or HTC Vive. The founders that got their resources and network and funding in both Taiwan and Silicon Valley, and they want to bring these resources into this studio. And we have several programs that help bring these resources into startups through our investment, through our coaching programs. So that's why I'm here to share more things that we do with you. Okay, thank you.
That's awesome. I think we have a very good mix of panelists. We have Nakagawa-san from Japan, all right, kind of representing the East View, all right. Then we have Francisco from Europe, all right, although he's from Colombia, all right. And so he has a lot of different other perspective from the West side. And then now we have Freya that actually connecting both ends, which is great. So I'm just going to dive into the first question I'm going to ask you guys. Right, because we are now always looking at how to inspire startups and help them to accelerate the growth, other than funds, right? What are the alternative equity models that you may be familiar with, and why are they important, that the ecosystem has such a access to it? Maybe you want to start with Freya?
Okay. So yeah, at AA6, the equity model that we are most familiar with is accelerator investment model. So, which means we invest in super early stage startups. Sometimes funders can just come here, pitch to us with just an idea, right? An idea and a vision, what they think this would work, and then we will invest them in 100K, and the equity model is just a safe note. So if you don't know, SafeNote is an investment contract that was designed by Y Combinator to help make the process easier for early stage startups. So the full name of a SafeNote is Simple Agreement for Future Equity. So that allows investors like us, early stage investors, can invest money first, and then there's no price or valuation need to be decided at that stage, right? The valuation can be decided later. So it's like a very convenient equity model for both sides, especially for early stage. It's very simple to use. There's a standard term that you can download from YC. So that's kind of like the model we are most familiar with.
I think that is really a great gap. I mean, you're actually addressing a very nice gap. A lot of startups, they don't know where to start. So I guess you guys really have to take note of 886. I'm definitely going to ask my startups to join our program. Nakagawa-san, you want to go next?
So in my understanding, the equity model refers to a system in which startup offer their equity in exchange of resources they necessary for their business. Then I think the resources which are startup necessary includes several types. One is monetary resources, which is money. So, typically venture capital or angel investor can provide such a resource. Also, there is non-monetary resources like technology, expertise, network, also knowledge. That would be provided by accelerator, right? In addition to that, we as a technology company would like to offer technology support to startup. That is initiative IPHatch as well as TechHatch. in IPHatch, we offer intellectual property, that is patents. So through this, startup can own patents by themselves. That is great. Also, we know some startup want to access more technology assets itself. So for that, we are starting TechHatch. So we provide technology. So new equity model will include provision of patents as well as technology.
I think that's great. I think like what Travis say, IP is actually a very good. Of course, we always say that IP is a very integral part of a tech company, right? So if you don't have IP, then it's hard to call yourself a tech company. I believe Francisco, you have some good thoughts to share too.
No, I mean, I think since we are doing something similar, I would just be probably repeating what Nakawa said. But eventually, so the alternative equity model in our case is that we invest through IP. So, companies usually, the typical way is that you raise money. In this case, what you are getting is IP from really top leading IP owners in exchange for equity.
Awesome. Next question I have is, living on this point about how should startup leverage on IP strategically, during fundraising. So maybe Francisco, you can add some thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to what are the benefits of startups being part of this program and how does IP help startups, I think obviously the first one is that, making a patent is both costly and time consuming, and sometimes you don't even know if it will get approved or not. So what you get are like patents from companies that have a big reputation that the technology is good. And so if you have a patent that fits your business, then you are basically acquiring that without going through all the trouble of building up or creating a patent. But what I found out discussing with some of the startups that we have is that also one big benefit is that it helps the startups, because we're talking about early age startups. It helps them when they go and talk to investors that, okay, I have a patent from Nokia that sort of gives validity in a way to the startup. And it also helps, for example, when they are seeking grants, so it's not really necessarily like investing money from VCs, but like grants from universities or grants from these kind of things.
I think absolutely. I mean, I hear so many good stories from our startups, and I think later on they will be sharing some of them. Nakagawa-san, you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, so having patents, startup having patents is very crucial. There is no doubt having patents became a good sign when the startup going to fundraise. That's no doubt. And also, I think by having patents, startup can demonstrate you have a very good development capability, also connection with large company like Nokia and Panasonic. That is a good, it's kind of the signaling effect.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think I just want to add on to that because we incubate the startups through our IPHatch program, and we always help them to design an IP strategy roadmap. And also at the same time, we will say that the startups need to have a technology roadmap so that to add on to the credentials that they have and targeting what kind of new IPs they should achieve. All right, so that's the good part about IP on how you can leverage IP to make your business, to fundraise, to position yourself. And I think very importantly, a lot of startups would like to know, what are the things that, the innovation support programs that, each of your firms are running, and, is there anything that you can share? Maybe Freya, you want to share something?
Yeah, sure. So at AA6 Studios, we run a program. It's called Ikigai Launchpad. It's an accelerator program that we invest in 100K USD and to support the funders in early stage to navigate their business model, right? Like startup funders always struggle with the product market fit. A lot of funders, they will think, how can I achieve that? But actually, to achieve that, there's no shortcut. It requires a lot of market validation. It requires people who got experiences, right? The experienced funders to stay with you, to help you navigate the whole thing. The program that we provide, not just the funding, but also like a 10 weeks training, along with like a private mini demo day to help you match like the investors that would potentially like invest in your next run. And through that process, we are able to coach like each funders to kind of grow their business sense, to help them figure out the business model, to do the user interviews with them. So basically help the business, right? And then help them to get their next round of fundraising, because we invest in safe. So that's very important. We really want our teams to be able to secure and get their next round of fundraising. So that's what we do. Yeah.
I think that's awesome because you have a duty and you have an expectation to help them to grow so that they can get their valuation higher in the next run. And I think a lot of I think that is a very nice way that accelerator program like yourself, all right, is helping startups.
Yeah, and something I want to add on is, our program is called Ikigai Launchpad. So Ikigai is the Japanese word, right? Like to basically explain like a purpose of life, which we really encourage everyone, no matter you are funding a company or not, right? To figure out the Ikigai concept is basically, the purpose of life, which consists by 4 parts in your life, right? Something that you are good at, something that you are passionate about, something that the world needs, and something that can help you make money, right? Which is very important. I guess a lot of you maybe have heard of this term. And that's kind of like our concept. Throughout the program, we really try to help the founders to figure out these 4 things, right? And trying to find the overlap so they can do something they are passionate about, bring positive change to the world, and also make money out of it. So that's, yeah.
Awesome. I mean, impact is important. Francisco? You?
Yeah, so I said that IPHatch is a program where large company provides patents. So having patents is fantastic. But I know some startup is more interested in acquiring technology itself. So for that, we started TechHatch, so-called. So in TechHatch, we transfer technology itself, and we provide a patent license necessary for that. That is one initiative. And furthermore, Panasonic looking for business collaboration between Panasonic business companies and startups. Actually, in my Taiwan travel, I visited Panasonic Taiwan. Because I think this is good. We have already 50 startups in IPHatch. Then I try to introduce those startups to Taiwan Panasonic. Maybe we can find any opportunity to collaborate. Yeah, that is a recent.
Well, that's an excellent move because I think with the little bit of collaboration you have with Panasonic, the startup valuation will fly.
Just the beginning. Yeah.
Work hard, kampate. Okay, I have another question, regarding capital. I think this one definitely I'd like to check with Freya. How does founders balance the need for capital, maintaining control? How many rounds they should try to dilute? Because there's a trend that the startups always tell themselves they are at seed round, all right, while they are already making money, all right? And the definition actually is not that, right? It's like pre-Series A, you can say that, or Series A is when you're already making money. So a lot of startups are trying to make multiple rounds of fundraising. So what's your view on that?
My view of that, like a lot of funders actually have similar questions, when they join the program. And that is usually their first time fundraising, by the way. At super early stage, we actually try to help funders to learn about why you need to fundraise. That's like one most key questions funders need to think through. And we often suggest like the funders that you should be fundraising all the time, right? But prioritize fundraising strategies to your customers, to your users, than investors, right? If that's how, if you really want to get control, right, and not to get diluted in multiple runs, always prioritize to the market than investors, right? Unless you have a very good reason to fundraise from investors, right? You kind of know that there's like a gap or like some hoops you need to jump through that you can leverage, IPs, or you can leverage some institutional VC or corporate VC that can help you navigate that. Otherwise, for early stage, we often just suggest them, figure out the market first, right? And then focus on that, bring in revenue, and then later on think about VC. Yeah, but we do for like our investment, usually we look into the percentage that CEO owns. We want the CEOs to keep the drive in building the companies, right? You don't want CEOs to hold like a lower equity in the companies, or the CTO have like imbalancing like equity share in the company. You want to see like a company with like a co-founders, the funding team has a very equal and share equities in the company, so they have the drive and the motivation to bring success to the company. Yeah, and along the way, we try to help them build more on the market side, build a business, fundraise from, again, like the clients and users, not just investors. Yeah, but every company is a little bit different. So yeah, that's kind of like the value we want to provide to the funders, to help them navigate that process. Yeah.
Yeah, I think absolutely true. I'm also an advocate of generating revenue first, because you don't really need to always look at whether your bank account is running dry. And coming to that note is that this is my observation, because we invest slightly differently. We use IP for investment. However, we work with a lot of VCs, and the VCs in the West and the VCs in the East is very different. All right, the VCs in the East, they tend to be looking at whether are you making money or are you burning money. In the US, it's quite different. You cannot be making money, but your concept is really good. You have wonderful, sales speech. You are able to convince the investor, they'll give you the money. What's your viewpoint about, are the VCs here in this region changing? Are they getting a little bit more, a little bit more bold in terms of their investments? If you give them keywords like, I'm a AI company, or I'm a futuristic, futuristic hardware, wearable hardware that is going to change the world.
So you mean like is the VC like in this region change for like how they invest in startup companies?
Yeah, their investment style is, do you think they would be a little bit more open by looking at more risks?
So for my past 7-8 years in the startup ecosystem here, I do feel like the VC here are more open-minded. When I first started in this ecosystem, a lot of VCs here, they tend to ask the funders to provide a loss and profit, right? But if you really think about the loss and profit in startups, they are always losing money, right? That's how you actually your document is going to show when you pursue growth, right? You are going to always lose money, always chase the growth, right? And I think the VC nowadays they started to grow this mindset, especially I think for now we have more and more software startups with the AI rising. Definitely VC are more open-minded in invest and take higher risk in early stage. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good development, and that's a small observation I had over the last 1-2 years as well. People tend to believe more in putting in risky bets, and I hope that will change even more, because that will inspire more startups to come forward. Because a lot of times startups tell me that it's so hard to fundraise, yeah, and then they have to see. But the whole thing is that go to as many VCs as you can, all right, and you definitely will be able to hit 1 or 2 that will give you the check, like 100. Some of my startups, they just go to 10, and this is very difficult. But there are people who go for 3-digit, and finally they get a check. Just follow on the investment side. I would like to ask, how does at which stage should a startup opt for smart equity? Is it a seed stage, or which stage they should actually look for institution investors, or is it traditional VC that they should take? Just now you mentioned about CVC. So at which stage they should start looking at such special vehicles?
I feel like it's like me answering like, all the question. Amos, yeah. So this is like a quite long answer actually, because like I said, every startup has very different strategy. It really depends on what type of product and market they are targeting and working on. And I think for the funders that we work with, right, we usually like suggest them to fundraise all the time and talk to all kinds of different people, right? Because the whole startup journey and fundraising is really about building relationship, right? Thinking about yourself as an investor. You're not going to just bet on like a random person that you have no idea, right? I think it's similar to Francisco and Nakagawa-san, right? Like you want to help funders that you already know for a while. So it's like a long time process. Build a relationship first and figure out, with all the terms that you have in the hand and think, which one is the most valuable one to my stage, right? Instead of, just listen to people, oh, do this and do that. But, really network more and get all these terms and think through that whole process is most recommended. And for institutional VC, I think a lot of people, especially funders, they will be like, oh, I want to fundraise from VC, right? But if you actually ask them, why do you want to fundraise from VC? They got no idea. They're like, oh, because they need money. But getting in like an institutional VC, their mindset and how they push you for the growth in your product and your market is actually very different, right? You actually need to pursue like the revenue straight away. You actually need to show like good things, and they also want you to fundraise more and more, right? And then your valuation could get too high, right? So I think for earlier stage, figure out like a strategic partners to get IP support to help your product has better entry barrier, right? Have more competitive edge. All these are like very important. So network more and get all these people to help you. I always say like building a startup company is like creating like a whole new universe. You need to invite people to come here, join your universe, and help you along the way, right? Don't be shy and network more and get whatever you can, right? And yeah, that's kind of like what I have.
Well, I think that's absolutely great insights to how startups should be behaving, right, in terms of their journey. And it is true, I have startups who are very successful. They are always working 24 hours and always out networking, and then go back working after networking, they'll go back to work. And there are also startups that continue to work hard but not networking. And usually the ones networking are the ones more successful. You need to show your hand in the world so that they get to know you and to build a relationship. And I guess for the corporates, same thing. The more you engage them, the more they understand you, the more they will have an obligation to help you. All right. So that brings me to a question to Francisco and Nakagawa-san. What advice and expectations would you want to see in your startups, all right, when they want to come forth to join the IPHatch program, that maybe Nokia will be very interested to support them?
Well, I think we are not looking specifically for a startup that has to have this or that technology. The first advice I would give is that, when you join the program, the way that you join is that there's a list of patents available, and then you kind of select which patent you're interested in, and then you participate in the program, and do it when it makes sense. Having a patent just for the sake of having a patent when there's no clear relation to your business, that's not gonna help much. So the advice first is like really, look for a patent that actually matches what you're doing. And then after that, I guess the way that we look at companies is the same way that a VC or any other would do. And on top of what Freya said, which is absolutely key, one of the things that I would always recommend to startups in general is that the packaging matters. It's not fair sometimes, but it really matters. So how you put together the presentation that makes it, some startups have like a really great product, but then when they come and present it, you don't really understand what it was. And perhaps it was the best product, but you just never got it. So you go with a startup that you understood, what it really was doing, especially at this really early stage when we are looking at maybe 20, 30, 40 startups at the same time. The packaging, they make it clear, explain clear what is it that you do. That's also something that I would really recommend to spend time on.
I like that packaging. Yeah, if you have a very nice story and it flows and you are presenting with passion, I think
It has to be backed up by a good product, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I want to just say that sometimes if the startup or the founder has 5 years in the eye, it works better. All right, with passion and a lot of commitment that you're showing, likely they'll be convinced. Nakagawa-san?
Yeah, so lastly, I want to convey some message to startup or entrepreneur who are considering to this program. As I said, competition between startups or startup and corporates will be intensive more. So as I said, it is really important to obtain patents or core technology or supports in the early stage for startup. Then I believe the IPHatch is a great system to realize it with connection between startup, large company, as well as investors. So I strongly encourage you to consider to apply IPHatch. Then patents to be provided. Also, many success story from past IPHatch winner will be provided. So I hope you to pay attention.
Awesome. All right, I think we have a very efficient panel, and I think we have some time for Q&A. All right, it's not planned, but then anybody have any questions that you want to ask? Because you have a very fantastic. Okay. Yeah.
Appreciate for your fantastic sharing. And 4 years ago, I've been participating in the say, USA or Web Summit, that kind of the fundraising or tech conference as I was the software startup. And at that time, I just feel a lot of the potential investor just suggest me, I have to stay there, the local market for a while. So I have to know about the customer behavior, costume, or something like environment policy first. So I'm a little bit curious about if I and with our resource, with our rich father from the big corporation, I just like the SaaS software entrepreneur, and I really want to explore my product or service into the other country. Shall I really stay at that local market for a while, probably for 1 year as I'm an exchange student, or I can just participate in the association there first? So I want to ask the general manager, Freya, do you have any suggestion for this kind of the situation? Thank you very much.
Thank you. What's your name?
Robert.
Robert. Okay. Thank you for your question. I think we also got asked by funders on these type of questions a lot. What is the good timing to go to global market? They a lot of times starting from Asia, they want to explore bigger market, right? And I always want to share good stories and experiences from a funder that I know for quite a while. The founder of Gmobi, Paul Wu Boyi. So a very cool story he shared with me is when he's trying to build a product for India market, actually he himself go to live in India for a whole year, right? That's how he gets started. It's not starting from hey, I want to go to another market. It's I'm going there to live in that target market, to really immerse in that culture, to really live a life like a local people there, to understand what they really need, that my service and my product could help them with. So, he lived there and he started to figure that, when they call people, right? In India, when they call For example, like when I called Francisco, we had a great chat. And not every country is like Taiwan. They have like the whole unlimited plan for your data and for your calls. They'll be like, oh, I call you for like 20 minutes. It's a good chat, but I'm running out of my data, or I run out of my credit. And then they actually need to end the call and then go to like a vendor to top up the credit and then go back onto the call, right? So he was like, oh, this is a very interesting problem, right? What if like a couple who's having a fight, or what if that's a very important business call? What if it's your girlfriend or boyfriend, etc.? So he's like, okay, let me push out like a new service, right? When you are running out of your credits, basically Post company will just send you like a message, text message, like, hey, we are running out your data for like a couple of minutes. Do you want to just automatically top up? You can just reply with text 1, right? He make like a 100 million business out of that service, right? So it's really on which target market you are targeting at, and do you have the guts to really start over in that country? Because oftentimes startup founder will be like, oh, it's going to be like a translation thing. It's going to be like a local team there that can just help me distribute. They can just help me to build a business. But actually, it's not like that. It's not going to be that easy. If you really have something in your mind, give yourself some challenge, right? Go there, live like a local, observe, and see how your expertise, how your teams can add value to that market. Yeah, that's my answer.
I think absolutely true.
Appreciate.
Yeah, so I just want to add on for you on one point is that always we tell our startup, you need to get yourself ready before you enter into a new market. Because when you go to a new market, you'll be talking to the local partners. They will be assessing you whether are you ready or are you having your own track record in the place that you came from. Else you will have to start over again, like, stay in India for 1 year. So I guess these are the things that you need to get prepared. Like in IPHatch, we have 10 locations that we run. So sometimes our startup will say, I want to go Japan. Then I say, oh, sure. But what kind of, are you ready to go there and learn the culture, customize your products, and really have a local team to run around and also talk to a lot of the customers there to make sure that you have the right product? I think these are the things that the startups need to get ready. And a lot of times they'll say, who are you? So in a way, you also have to have your own track record. Right.
Hey. Thank you very much. If there is no one raise the hand, I really want to ask additional one. So just give the opportunity to the other first.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I really want to know how to recognize whether should I probably approach to the enterprise investor or venture capital. As you know, enterprise corporate can help you to exposure your product or service into the specific market, right? But on the other hand, venture capital also have the very powerful human resource behind the water. So I just want to know how could I recognize whether channel I can approach as I was the B2B software startup. And I really want to probably seize the overseas market, like Southeast Asia or Japan. And I have already done the translation for the, my service. So probably this question I want to ask the Francisco. Francisco, I apologize for my pronunciation. Yeah, Mr. Francisco, thank you very much.
Thank you. Was it Robert?
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. Well, I think that when it comes to corporate, there's probably a difference between corporations that have specific programs that are kind of like hatch programs or corporations that don't. We, at least in the business unit that I work with, don't have that. So I think that in terms, probably I would say that the normal route should be going to VCs and angels, because corporations typically, they're gonna want, if you're going to partner with a company and you're going to include that company in your products, you're gonna want a company that is recognized already, that is, it doesn't have to be the largest one, but there's a lot of risk involved in they're usually like, hundreds of millions investments. But I think that so I would say if your product is really, really targeted, like you say, okay, this is really something that can make a difference, then that would be the moment to do that. And then definitely even more so, it's a lot through the networking and connections. So you need to start connecting to the right people within the company so that they can demo your product. And once they say, okay, this is what we want, then it's up to them to convince management to do that.
You want to add on anything? No? Okay. So, all right. So thank you very much for your question, Roger. I believe that there are a lot of questions in your mind, and whether you should work with corporates or we should work with VCs. I think work with accelerators is one of the very good options. Work with corporates, I guess, like what Francisco says, it takes a lot of, it will have to go through a lot of barriers before they start collaborating with you. All right, so that's why we have this IPHatch program, where we have this back door, where once you attain their IPs, they have to look at you for at least every quarter when you submit the reports to them, and they will be able to see what kind of needs you have, and that builds your relationship from the very day that you join, and as you build like next 1, 2, 3 years, you will get an audience eventually as you develop your business. So with that, thank you very much, my distinguished panelists. I hope everyone here learned a lot and enjoy our discussion. Thank you.
Let's give our panelists another round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you, Jason, and all Freya, Francisco, and Nakagawa. So now we're going to move on to our next segment. A fireside chat with 3 of our IPHatch alumni startups out of our 90 startups that we have in our portfolio. So we have Dresio, Easy Green Pack, and MiiCs, who have been with us from between 1 to 4 years and bring invaluable experience gained from IPHatch program. So this conversation will be moderated by our partner, Francisco Gomez from Nokia. So let's put our hands together and give them a warm welcome. Alexander from Dresio, Wendy from Easy Green Pack, Kenneth from MiiCs, and Francisco on stage. Yes, they're on stage already. He says, good. Francisco, over to you.
Oh, okay. I was just waiting. But so, as I said before, my name is Francisco Gomez. I work with Nokia, leading the IPHatch program, where we partner with Peace Future and we invest in startups through IP. I'm based in our headquarters in Finland. This is my first time actually in Japan, so it's been really exciting to see a new country, to see a different culture. People are really nice, really polite. The landscapes, I had a chance to do a short hike in the mountains, and the landscapes are beautiful. So here, I would like to say that I've always been, even though I work in the corporate side, I really enjoy this program because I get to spend a lot of time with startups, and I've always been fascinated by the startup world. I take my hats off to every entrepreneur, no matter the size of the company, the drive, the energy they have, the motivation. It's really like something to admire and inspiring. And here I have the honor then to talk to 3 of our successful stories from the IPHatch program. We have a very varied group here. We have a company on the green tech space, a company on the healthcare sector, and a company from the music industry. So we're going to hear about them. So I guess, first of all, what I'd like to know is just give us kind of a quick description of your company so that everybody knows what your company is about.
I'll go first. So I'm Alex. So our company is Dresio. So we are a computer vision software company. So we do have develop softwares to help physiotherapists, chiropractors to do assessment quickly and efficiently. So, and our system can replace even some of their own existing process and doesn't need a human intervention, and which save time and money.
Hi everyone, thank you. And I'm Randy, the founder of EC GreenPad. So basically, our company is a startup. We have two products. The first one is our patent material that is dissolvable, like water-soluble nonwoven fabric. It's like this fabric. We use this fabric. It's able to do the different packaging. So like later on, I can try to demonstrate to like put one of our fabric sample into the boiling water, because our fabric is able to dissolve in 90-degree hot water, but there will be no problem during the raining season. And another product is our EcoTech platform, which is able to capture all the carbon footprint, for example, because we are manufacturer. So that's why we are able to calculate, like, by producing the fabric and then the packaging and the printing, how much energy do we use for each product stage, and then how much like water usage for each like production stage. Yeah, but I think that like it's trying to like boiling the water. Maybe I can like demonstrate later on, and
Absolutely.
then, yeah, and pass by the next one. Yeah.
Hey, hello everybody. My name is Kenneth. I'm the CEO and founder of MiiCs. Not music, but MiiCs, M-U-X-I-C. Yeah, since we our company is crossover AI and music together. We are an AI entertainment company. Right now we focus on the physical and metaverse concept. So the physical and virtual crossover together. That means you can enjoy the entertainment anytime, anywhere. Use our platform. So you no need to go to the physical concept, but you can also enjoy the concept. Yeah, anytime, anywhere. We are going to launch another AI ticketing platform. So right now, everybody has a problem to purchase the ticket. Yeah, since the ticket is very limited. So right now we develop AI agents. So you can just ask the AI agents which concert you want to join. You are going to purchase the ticket. The AI agent will arrange the schedule for you. Yeah, maybe I can elaborate more later. Thank you very much.
All right, and I think always behind every startup, I mean, to be able to put the hours that you guys put, and the passion that you put, there's typically a story of why. So I would love to hear a little bit what was your inspiration to set up your companies, and this time we can start with you, Kenneth.
Maybe I'm not the most successful company among the three yet, since everybody said for your startup you need to choose the right time, the right place, and right people, right? Okay, but I start my my company just before the COVID. Yet, although I have fire in my eye, but I can come across so many difficulties. Yeah, since my vision is to build the tech entertainment kingdom, but I find that no more entertainment during COVID. Every concert canceled, so almost no any business. When I start my company. Besides, I have no. I'm not choosing the right place. Since during COVID, Hong Kong is isolated, so no any talent or no any visitor go to Hong Kong. Okay. Besides, we do not have enough funding to move forward. So we feel very, very frustrated. Yeah, before we start the company, before we move on our staff January, okay, and then I try every strategy. For example, I try to reach more people as the last panel said. You try to reach out more different kind of people so you can get more opportunity. So I try to get in touch with some friend in TDC and know Jason and know that there is the IPHatch. Yeah. So and he told me you don't need to present physically. You just present online for your business. Yeah. And finally we are lucky we get the award and we get the patent from Panasonic. And I can also show some demo. Since we load the patent from Panasonic for some sun. Sorry. Really? Or you? Okay. Since we come across the patent from Panasonic, and it changed our company. Since we know that we can make use of some existing patent, we don't need to spend much time and much effort to develop our new technology. Okay, so making use of the Panasonic technology, we are going to launch the metaverse concept during the COVID, and we are also making the physical and virtual concept together. So it makes more successful for our staff January. Maybe I share wait. You can see those the physical and the virtual concept. This crossover. So everybody no need to come to Hong Kong, or you can visit, enjoy the entertainment and anytime, anywhere.
Thank you very much, Kenneth. So,
I think if you're asking me one of the biggest inspiration for my startup, I think that would definitely be my family, because actually I'm coming from a garment industry. So my parent is doing the garment manufacture in mainland China. And I basically growing up in the garment industry since when I was a child. So I kind of have a first-hand to witness the garment industry, the pollution, especially for the packaging, because we use a lot of traditional plastic packaging. And for the garment, for the jacket, we usually have some for example, the spare button, and we also have the little plastic bag to cover the spare button. So we know that there's a lot of packaging pollution in the garment industry. And that's why I think that is one of the biggest inspiration for my startup. And that's why we have working with one of the university, and then they kind of our R&D team, we try to innovate the new product, the new material that is the water-soluble nonwoven packaging, the water-soluble nonwoven fabric. So we try to have some new material to replace the traditional plastic packaging. And that's why I think if you're asking me one of the inspiration, I think because I was growing up in the very polluted industry for my family, and I think that is kind of the biggest thing to inspire me to have some little thing to change, not really change the world, but kind of change our customer behavior or the corporate mindset.
thank you.
So, for us is also related to COVID. I think during COVID, we are talking to a lot of healthcare professionals, and one thing they keep saying to us is, we cannot touch the patient. We cannot touch the patient. And during 5 years ago, I think most of the body sensors are attached. And if you cannot touch a patient, how can you measure them, right? and especially in physiotherapy. And we got a lot of requests from physiotherapists saying that, oh, how can we measure them, how we measure their health, how can we assess them, and that's why using our technology, a computer vision system, is a key to solve their problem. And that's how we started the company to work with a lot of healthcare professionals, starting to gather a database of how a normal person should behave with their skeleton, their bone, their muscle, and we derive those human assessment into AI assessment. So just now, currently with our system, only just perform some movement in front of camera, then we can do the same assessment as a physiotherapist. So that's how we started.
Okay, that's very interesting. So now you all participated in the IPHatch program and were awarded a patent. So it would be great then to hear a little bit how has how have you integrated this IP into your company, and also how has this helped you in any other ways? We can go with you, Wendy, then now.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. And actually, so we basically start our startup last year, mid of last year, and joined IPHatch like in late last year. Like I said, we have two products. The one is like the tangible like non-woven fabric, and other one we have EcoTech platform, which is help our corporate client to calculate their carbon footprint, their packaging carbon footprint, and to provide the ESG data to the corporate for the ESG report. And actually, before I joined IPHatch, I tried to like promote or sell our second product, the EcoTech platform, to our corporate client. And honestly, there's not a great feedback. Most of them, our corporate client, they just focus on our like tangible product, the water-soluble non-woven fabric. They don't really like ask a lot of questions about our EcoTech platform, and they don't really show their interest in our EcoTech platform. But after I got the patent, after I joined the IPHatch, and then I got the patent from Panasonic and Nokia, and then I try to promote and I try to sell our EcoTech platform to our corporate client. It's like the same corporate client. They start a little bit change. They are showing their interest when they heard about our platform got supported by Nokia and Panasonic. We have their IP, we have their patent. They show the interest, and I think that is very different, what I felt.
Good.
Yeah, so I think I can echo on that as well. I think having patents from Nokia or Panasonic does give you an edge when it comes to talking to clients. And for me, I think I would talk about an existing case of mine. Is I do business with hospitals, clinics, and sometimes NGO, and also public companies. And a lot of time when it comes to procurement, like the buyer, they sometimes need to get multiple quotation of similar products to actually proceed to their management. They say, oh, we have this kind of companies doing these products and similar, and what do you think about the price and all stuff. But the patents actually help us to bypass some of this process, because we show them, hey, we have a patent for our products. It shows that some of the features are unique and proprietary to us, and then the whole process is actually skipped, and we actually go straight to management and got the deal. And then that is something that we actually got it because of the patent. Yeah.
Okay, great. Kenneth.
As I shared before, before we win the IPHatch, we are still frustrated and how to move on. But after we find that from the Panasonic and Nokia patent, there are still some existing technology we can apply to our new development. So we try to make use of them. So you can see some metaverse and the dual-verse concept already launched in the market. But the most important is that we, based on such kind of patent, we develop another new pattern for our company. So right now, we get the pattern for the mobile metaverse concept. Yeah, I think the most important is that the pattern from Nokia and from Panasonic inspire our team to think more about how to make use of the pattern for our future development.
Okay, good. Before my next question, I don't know, Wendy, if you're ready for the demo or we can wait after the...
I think there is not, now we can see it's just like 77 degrees because like our material is able to dissolve in 90 degrees or above.
Okay, so let's go with the question. So I was thinking, so if for any startups here that might be interested in joining IPHatch, you know, what advice would you have for them, or what would you recommend?
So I think one thing definitely is go through the pattern list. I think you definitely need to find something that suits your need, and you find something that you think that you can make use of and make it better and integrate it into your own solution, and that is I think the key to success, because like people I think with Panasonic, Nokia, and all other partners are just looking at how well you utilize them. I think you are not just I think even you think of a use case, is this use case better than others? Because you might compete for, if one pattern is really attractive, then might be there might be other startups also fighting for it. So I think you really need to think of the best case scenario, how you can make use of something. That's my suggestions.
Before you show your demo, maybe I show my demo also, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, since I want to show you what pattern we try to get from Panasonic. Yeah, that's the sound determination. Yeah, so we can recognize one specific voice from a Mr. Voice. Yeah, so we try to pick this pattern, and we make use of this pattern for application in the AI voice training. So maybe you can see our demo. Yeah, the ladies right now, she can use a male singer voice, to sing a song. Okay, since we make use of pattern to use our AI engine to change to train the voice, for the original singer. Okay, you can see, we make use of the technology, to train, for the AI training. So right now, use the AI microphone. The lady can use the male singer voice, to sing or speak any tone of the male singer. Yeah, that's one of the applications.
Okay, thank you, Kenneth.
I think my suggestion to the startup, it would be like to be more open-minded, because like take myself as an example, we only launched our startup last year, and I honestly don't know what is the value, why it's so important to have an IP or to have a patent, honestly. But I think I just have a mindset that I'll just try to apply for IPHatch for the competition. But I only can feel the difference when I got the IP, when I got the patent. And I think the startup need to be more open-minded to try to join different competition first, and then to try to get, even if when you have an IP, to try to see if there is any value you can get from it. Because for me, just I mentioned it before, the value for us is at least I can get the first initiate interest from the corporate client, because we have a patent from the big corporate. Otherwise, our another product, the EcoTech platform, we can't get any initial interest from the big corporate. Yeah.
All right, I think we are probably running out of time. Maybe we have time for one question, and hopefully we will get to the 90 degrees. Any questions maybe from the audience? All right. So.
Thank you for the very interesting debate. My question is regarding how difficult is to patent application of AI, because a lot of AI is open source. So how difficult is to make this patent? Because probably you're using something which is already open source when you in your development.
I think as a developer myself, I think integrating the patents is not the difficult part sometimes. Is to show that you have it, and you also I think a lot of our AI are open source, yes, but I think some patents architecture are not. And if you are discovered that you are using those architecture without actually licensing or owning the patent, you will go into trouble. And if as you are keeping fundraising as a startups, you get the due diligence. And one day you may get the diligence and people find out that, oh, you are using something that is not yours. And or maybe you need to prepare that to get in to a lawsuit or sometimes. I think that is something that you have to get in mind. I think that's what I think for IP, not everything needs to be patented. Like sometimes you for some algorithms, you can do it a trade secret, and there are many like IP strategies. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I show you a picture. Yeah. 左右路嗰個嚇。Yeah. Yeah. You can see. Yeah. This part. Yeah. The ChatGPT part. Yeah. Is open source, but we can. You can still. Yeah. Develop your own AI. Yeah. So your AI can work together with the open source. Yeah. So for your design and how to connect with the open source, yeah, I think the flowchart you can still get the pattern.
All right, I think we ran out of time, but now let's give some extra time for Wendy to do her demo.
I think it's enough. I think.
Yeah. Finally, it's getting like 90 degrees. I don't know, like it normally just take like 1 or 2 minutes, but I don't know like what happened today. So you can see like now our like water temperature is like over 90 degrees. If I put our non-woven fabric into the boiling water, you will see it like become smaller immediately and softer. And then I will like try to use my stick and stir it around, and it will start dissolve. You will see like if I put our fabric here, you will see it become smaller here and smaller and softer. Like I try to stir it around. Like it will dissolve like within 1 or 2 minutes. Like I said before, our fabric, our non-woven fabric, only dissolve in hot water at 90 degrees. So if there is any like cold water or room temperature water or any like raining, it won't have any problem. Because like we adjust the formula, it only dissolve in boiling water. So you will see like it's basically like dissolving, breaking down into a small pieces and dissolving. And there is no any microplastic. Like for example, we always concerned about PP, PE, PS, or PVC. And we don't have any like microplastic in that. And then it's able to like to just throw it away to your toilet. And there is no any harmful residue as well.
Well,
yeah, it's also biodegradable in landfill environment, not only water soluble.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and good luck.
Thank you so much, panelists. Let's give them another round of applause. I trust everyone now has a clear overview of IPHatch and what we offer. So now I would like to invite Jason back on stage to walk us through this year's program details, application process, and showcase the technologies we have in store for you. Jason, please.
So it's me again. So just going to flash some slides and run you through what our program is and some history about where we are now active in, so that you have a kind of an understanding what are you getting into. So can I have my slides, please? Oh, okay. All right, so I think we all know what is IPHatch program. We basically, it's the only program in the world that actually is giving investing patents into startups and helping them to grow their technology journey. All right, so we have been around for about 8 years now. We started off from Singapore in 2017. We launched our first IPHatch, and then we are moving across the globe. And as you can see, we are already in 10 different locations. And now we are actually looking into some other region as well. And why are we actually going to so many different places? Is because we would like all our startups to have access to all these markets. Because when we go to a new ground, we work with the government, we work with the ecosystem partners, like how we work with the Taiwan ecosystem partners as well. And some of you may ask, so how many startups actually have joined us, all right? We have almost nearly 90 startups that have joined our program. And in our program, we are sector agnostic. Basically, we invest into any kind of startups, including fintech, healthcare, you can be sustainability, any kind of startups that will be able to use the IP that the corporates are offering, all right? So if you have a great idea, and then if you see the technology that you like, and that you can use it in your business, yeah, just go to our website. All the information are on the website, and then look out for the panel discussion that we have, the hackathon that we are running, so all these different education programs that we're going to run in the next few months will help you in your technology journey, as well as helping you to pick the IP that you want. So these are the whole kind of the history of the program. We have many corporates with us. In Taiwan, we are very honored to have Panasonic and Nokia joining us. And of course, in other of our regions, we have other corporates like NEC, Casio, Murata, Denso, and university that are also joining us. So if let's say you don't find anything in the Taiwan run, you can always look into the other regions like Asia, like the UK, like in Japan. I think these are all the regions that are available. And this year, as Nakagawa-san has mentioned, we also are launching TechHatch. TechHatch is a new program where we take out licensable technology to help startups to even speed tech their journey. Some of these technology are very, very advanced, all right, and they are fully usable, and you will be able to accelerate maybe to help your business model to make it more unique, make it more powerful. That kind of technologies will be offered eventually. So look out in our website where we will be actually launching more information later. And finally, I just want to actually go through some of the patent portfolios that are on offer. We have bring out 5 portfolios in total, ranging in this different area of application that you may be able to use, namely like digital transformation, AI, data analytics, healthcare, sustainability. So these are all the different segments that you can actually apply. And if you go down to the portfolios that we're offering, there are 5 in total. We make it very simple for Taiwan, all right, into 5 different categories. We have something related to AI in forecasting. We have even the autonomous vehicle control, we call it the flight control, digital privacy, discovery too, and even like how do you detect the social surroundings so that you can actually make new services and all that. If none of this actually suits you, we still have this thing called Portfolio X. Means that you just submit your application along with your pitch deck, the information of your company, what kind of technologies you need. We will go into our IP bank and then try to bring out something that may be relevant for you. All right? And I think the success story, I will skip. Basically, the 3 startups are here. They are really successful. And what we would like to actually emphasize is come and join us in our, all these different events that will be happening. All right, we will be having education, so-called webinars, teach you how to integrate your IP strategy. We also have hackathons where we will have one-to-one mentorship, teaching you how to integrate the IPs into your business model and so forth. And finally, the application deadline is on the 31st of July. It's quite it's 2 months later, but then you can start looking, preparing, and then we'll have the pitch day sometime in August or September. All right? So with that, these are the typical benefits. I think you hear from the startups as well. We help the startups in a very customized way, all right? Because all startups are different. And every startup's technology is also different. So we definitely will help them in general category like that. Market expansion, IP, and tech is our strong points. Finally, this is the journey that you will be walking with us. We offer a 5-year incubation journey. Means that you will come into our program for 5 years, free of charge, other than the patents that we are going to transfer to you, all right, for a minor equity. This will be the journey where after you have been awarded the patent, we will have a community set up with you to help you in your business development process. All right, as you go for market expansion, you can go into the 10 markets that we have identified, and you can also enjoy the network that we created. And finally, fundraising, and hopefully you guys will have a good exit. All right, so that's basically the journey. And you may be asking who can join, all right? If you are seed stage to pre-series A, some even series A, you can join us, all right? For later stage startup, there may be a possibility, but it depends on the scheme that we're going to adopt, all right? And finally, this is very important. Maybe what you can do is take down this QR code if you're interested and go online and find more information. Send us emails if you have any questions, all right? And look out for the events that are coming up. So with that, thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jason. So if you would like to learn more or apply, please go to our website over there. As you can see, www.IPHatchday.com, or use the QR code to apply. So if possible, you also can follow our LinkedIn, where you will see other events that we'll be organizing to get you prepared for the program. So we have now come to the end of our session. I hope all of you enjoyed it as much. And I will see all of you again at our events in the next few months. So have a great evening.